Good morning, everyone. Oh, good. Everybody's awake. It is both an honor and a deeply personal privilege to stand here today as the Executive Director of Joining Forces, and more importantly, as a proud military spouse of 41 years and a military mom. This initiative holds a very special place in my heart, and I am so grateful to share this moment with each of you, because you are the soul and the spirit of Joining Forces. Like so many of you in this room, I know firsthand the unique joys and challenges of military life. The pride of service and community, the strength it requires to face uncertainty, and the resilience that we draw from one another. I remember the first time I navigated a deployment, the worry, the juggling of responsibilities, and the isolation that sometimes crept in. But what I also remember is the unwavering support of fellow military spouses, the laughter shared in the toughest moments, and the profound sense of purpose that binds us all together. Don't you start, Steve. It was that shared experience, that deep understanding of what military families endure, that inspired me to step into this role with Joining Forces. When Dr. Biden invited me to be part of this mission, it took me about 3 seconds to say yes. And I would also have the opportunity to support someone I knew was absolutely committed. Dr. Biden understands us in a way that is both rare and remarkable. As a military mom herself, she knows the sacrifices that our families make and the strength that it takes to keep going. She has listened to our stories, walked in our shoes, and turned her empathy into action. To Dr. Biden, Joining Forces is more than just a White House initiative. It is a commitment to meeting the needs of military and veteran families, caregivers, and survivors, ensuring access to meaningful employment, quality education for our children, and the vital health and well-being resources. It is a promise that our nation sees us, values us, and stands with us. And it is also a testament to the tireless leadership and unwavering support of Dr. Biden. She has spent her life advocating for others as an educator, a military mom, and as our First Lady. She brings a warmth and sincerity to this work that is truly inspiring. Her passion for this community is not just something she speaks about it. It's something she lives. Whether she's visiting a base, meeting with spouses, or championing policy changes, she approaches every conversation with genuine care and an open heart. Today, as she takes this stage, I hope you will join me in recognizing not just her title, but the incredible woman behind it. Someone who has made it her mission to ensure that no military family feels invisible and that each of us has the support that we need to thrive. So please, join me in welcoming my boss, my friend, and our First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden.
Sheila, thank you. You know, first met Sheila when she was a senior military spouse, when General Casey was the Chief of Staff of the Army. And I always learned so much and drew comfort and strength from you, Sheila. Our Joining Forces Executive Director, Rory Brocious, had been a part of this initiative from the early days, and she led us forward from 2021 to 2023 with grace and compassion and determination. So when it came time for a new executive director, I knew exactly who to call. Because for any Joining Forces issue, we'd always call Sheila and ask for her thoughts and her guidance. So I invited Sheila for tea without telling her what I had in mind. And she walked out as our new executive director. Sheila, when I asked you to come lead Joining Forces, you didn't hesitate. As you said, it was like 4 seconds, like, yes, I'll do it. And everyone in this room is so grateful for your leadership and your kindness and your friendship. Thank you. I love you. So to everybody else, welcome to the White House. And I think this may be the last time I get to say that from this stage. So this is the final event I will host here as First Lady. And I knew I wanted to celebrate you, the advocates, business leaders, senior spouses, and so many military families who have been with Joining Forces. It's because of you that we've made so much progress on employment and entrepreneurship, on military child education, on health and well-being for the whole family. Just 1% of our nation serves in uniform, so that the other 99% may live in freedom. We owe it to them to make sure that they and their families have the support that they need. So in 2011, First Lady Michelle Obama and I launched Joining Forces. And we made a commitment that we wouldn't tell the military families what they needed. We would ask them about the challenges they faced and do everything that we could to lighten the load of all that they carried. And after the Obama-Biden administration, I knew that I had to continue this work. And one of the first things I did when Joe was sworn in as president was establish Joining Forces back in the White House. With an executive director serving as a commissioned officer, a senior member of the White House team. It was important that everyone understand that this work was critical to the Biden-Harris administration. We saw a new opportunity to write a new chapter for this initiative. And along with so many of you in this room, we were determined to put an end to those excuses we'd often hear when trying to break down barriers for this community. Things like, oh, it's too complicated, or we don't know how. We came together to say, military families deserve as much commitment from us as they give to us. Like the spouses who work for the federal government. You told me how hard it was for you to keep those jobs when you moved. And in 2023, Joe signed the most far-reaching executive order ever on federal employment for military and veteran spouses to expand opportunities to help you further the careers you have all worked so hard to build. And believe me, I understood that. And over the years, I've met with so many children of military families. You know, they might not wear a uniform, but they serve too. So I brought military kids to the White House for, I think, every holiday celebration, displaying their art on the public tour so that everyone could learn about their experiences, and increased support for military caregiving children, which was so important. Parents, you explained how tough it is to piece together childcare that's affordable, especially as you move from base to base. And that's why the Biden administration lowered the cost of childcare for military families and expanded parental leave for service members. And this past fall, we also brought universal pre-K to military bases around the world. And the moms and dads of military kids with disabilities, you told me how your kids move to new schools, but their individualized education programs don't move as easily. So I understood that as a teacher. The federal government and the nonprofit and private sectors are working to pilot seamless and secure data transfers of those specialized service. That way, military kids and all students who move frequently will be closer to getting the services they need on the first day at a new school. The military community is the one that the Bidens are humbled and proud to serve, to call our own. You know, at just 17 years old, my father decided that he wanted to fight in World War II. And back then, and I guess it's the same today, he was too young to enlist at 17, so he had to get my grandmom's permission to join. So she signed the papers, and my father served as a Navy signalman in the Pacific. And his service shaped his life, and mine as well. And I'm proud that joining forces is part of what has defined my time at the White House. It's been the honor of my life to serve as First Lady and to support the military community that defends our nation and keeps it strong. For every new recruit who takes the oath to protect and defend the Constitution, for every parent who knows the swell of fear and pride seeing their son or daughter in uniform, like I have. For every military child who saves up all their stories to share during those few precious phone calls with a parent serving overseas. You all know this. We must make sure that America lives up to their devotion and the sacrifices that they make, the sacrifices that all of you make every day. With all of my heart, thank you for your service. May God bless your families. I love you. Thank you.